Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. um, good morning to everyone out there. I'm Glenna Hunt with Fusion One Marketing, and we're so glad to have everybody on today. We have an awesome guest we're going to introduce here in just a moment. We have Biz Talks to interview and talk to locally owned businesses and just kind of find out how they stand out above their competition and also give us some tips along the way. Before we get started, let's make sure you know where to find us. We'll put that up for you. We do have our new podcast channel, which is Marketing and a Mic, which is the culmination of our Biz Talk and our marketing mix. We are live every Friday on Facebook and YouTube, and then you can catch the replays on all the other channels. All right. Before we introduce our wonderful guests, I'm going to let the other ladies introduce themselves.
Good morning. I'm Sarah Gilliland. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing.
And I'm Kelsey, a Social Media Manager with Fusion One Marketing.
Awesome. And now we're going to get to our special guest. We are very, very excited today to have such a lovely lady sitting over here, Kim McCulla with Whiskers Wags Pet Boutique. Kim and I have known each other probably a lot more years than I would even be able to count up, but she's such a kind person, and her love for animals and doing the best for them and her customers really shines. And I know you're going to be able to see that when we get talking with her. So good morning, Kim.
Good morning.
We're so glad to have you this morning. And as usual, we just jump right into it. So why don't you give us a little bit about your background, your family, and all about Kim.
Cool. Well, believe it or not, my background educationally is actually engineering.
Okay.
I know that sounds funny, but I used to work for a high-tech company, and back when the market crashed back in 2009, took some time off and really dug into my passion for animals. So I started working with animal rescues, and then I also started working at a pet boutique in Atlanta. And that is actually where I got this bug, this passion. So it's all Suzette's fault. And I tell her that every time I see her. It just really got that bug. But the engineering part of me still, kind of has that problem solving, that sort of attitude. And so I think it's a good complement to what I do. Family wise, I took the opportunity to move back to Birmingham back in 2011. My grandmother was still around, but she was 96 at the time. And so I had a good few years with her, and my parents are here, my aunt's here, my brother and sister-in-law and nieces are all here as well. So it's awfully good to be close to family.
Okay, awesome. I bet it is. It makes all the difference, especially when you are starting out in a new venture. like you've gone through, and we all have gone through. Well, Sarah, there we go.
Yes. So you got I'm playing freeze tag, everybody.
We're doing freeze frame today. Are we going to freeze or are we not?
Oh, goodness. So you mentioned that you got the bug when you were living in Atlanta. So what kind of drove you or got you the idea to start Whiskers and Wags here in Chelsea?
So it was, it really was the ability to work closely with customers and see the changes and see, see the dogs and the cats change for the better, be healthier, and really be able to actively participate in that, even though I'm not a vet or a vet tech. So increasing that bonding with the owner and the pet, that really appealed to me, and to be able to educate and help owners provide the best for their animals. So that's really what drove me to start this. I did actually start this at Mount Laurel Farmers Market, and so I was there every Saturday, starting in July of 2011. Wow. And then we actually opened the brick and mortar November of 2017. So it took a minute.
But your hard work paid off for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we talked a couple of days ago about the pet food lines that you carry. And I know from that conversation, you take a lot of pride in having direct contact with your suppliers and knowing the proper nutrition that's in the foods. So can you tell us why those partnerships with your suppliers are so important to you and why knowing what's in your pet food is so important?
Absolutely. So there are so many choices out there, and the marketing, just like people food, it looks great. It looks great. Sorry, there's somebody at the door.
Tell them you're on the show. Or you can go get it if you need to.
No, it's good. It's good. But it's just like people food. A lot of it is misleading. The word natural doesn't necessarily mean anything in pet food, just like it doesn't necessarily mean anything in human food. Mm-hmm. So understanding the ingredients, and there's so much research to be done. So what we've tried to do is say, okay, we're going to go ahead and do that research for you. So if you come into our store, you can trust that we've done the research behind the lines that we carry so that you can trust those. You don't necessarily have to go out to do your own research. So we look at the quality of ingredients, the quality of sourcing, recalls. So is there a recall history? We look at basically the reputation. So a lot of the lines we carry don't have big marketing budgets, so you may not have heard of them. But that means that they put that funding into the ingredients, and so you're getting a better product. Mm-hmm. So we really want people to understand that we do that research before we bring a line in. And so you can trust that it's going to be a great food. And that's really what we want to provide for people. That doesn't mean that when you come in, we're going to point you to the most expensive bag in the store. We're going to talk to you about what your dog or your cat needs. What flavors do they like? What flavors do they seem to have issues with? Do they have any allergies, a sensitive stomach, anything like that? Then we'll do a recommendation. So we don't want to just right off the bat say, hey, here's the best food for your dog, because dogs and cats are just as different as we are. We all need the same basic nutrition, but what that is comprised of may be slightly different.
Mm-hmm. That's a truly valuable service for pet owners. I know. Yes. I've had issues with what are my animals going to eat, right. And I don't know what any of the ingredients are. I just kind of have to guess. So having someone like you is really great.
And honestly, just like people food, if you don't know what the ingredients are, it's probably not the right food.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, to me, I think that's so valuable and huge. Am I freezing? You're laughing, Glenna.
It's kind of entertaining. Go ahead.
Oh boy. We're just going to keep this thing moving. Oh gosh. So besides that, which I think is such a huge component of having those, working with those suppliers and having such good quality food, what are some of the other unique features and services that Whiskers and Wags offers that make you different from some of the larger, more commercial type stores?
Yes. So we actually have a self-serve dog wash. So that is available for pets up to 150 pounds. So that is available anytime. And really the reason we did that is, especially in Chelsea, most of the groomers are booked. And so they're booked, 2 and 3 weeks out. Sometimes all your dog needs is a bath. So to take that pressure off the groomers, we put the tub in so you can come in and clean them up in between groomings. So it's been very well received. The other thing that we offer is we actually offer lines that are unique to us. So we go and research gift lines, toy lines, treat lines that are not necessarily readily available everywhere. And we like to do that because we don't want to compete with, the chain stores. We just don't have the buying power to do that. So what we do is we offer things that are different and unique. And I think if you come in our store, you're going to go, wow, you hit the nail on the head. It is a very different kind of experience.
Fantastic. Well, so tell us, how have things changed for your business with the social distancing orders in place, and what have you done to adapt?
Okay. So we actually have implemented online ordering. And so you can go to our website and order for either pickup, so curbside pickup, you can order for home delivery, which is free,
Ooh.
or you can still come into the store. So being a small store, we rarely have, more than 5 people in the store at a time. So it's kind of automatically socially distant. And I think you're going to find that with a lot of small businesses. So you're going to have more space. You're going to have more one-on-one attention if you shop a small business, because they're not going to have that constant, constant stream of customers like, say, a Walmart or something like that.
Perfect. Well, I know we have some people joining us this morning, so we're going to just say hello to Mr. Lance, and I think we know him. Cindy Edmonds. I think you know Cindy, don't you, Kim?
I do. Hey, yeah. Cindy.
Cindy's on today, and Gail Mason is also joining us today. So if you guys are pet lovers, I know Cindy is. I know she has grand dogs that she has and a little kitty cat. So anyway, welcome this morning. You told us a little bit about, everybody's had to pivot a little bit because of all the stuff that's been going on. And you even recognize that maybe you could research and try to find a lower cost solution, but still something that would benefit your customers. Tell us about your new line that you have.
Right. So we have brought in a new dog food line that is great quality. They've never had a recall, and they're cost effective. So we realize that there are a lot of families that may not be able to afford their regular dog food right now. And so we wanted to supply something that was going to give the great nutrition and the great value, but maybe save them a little bit of money currently. So the new line is called Victor. And rough pricing for, they have lots of different flavors and different versions, but it's roughly $1 a pound. So people can get, if they have large dogs or have a lot of dogs, they can get a 50-pound bag of dog food for about $50. So it's very cost effective. And again, it's a great quality. So it's going to be actually better quality than a lot of other foods that you may pick up at the grocery store or things like that are going to be similarly priced.
Yep, that's fantastic.
That's a great option. Really good. And then you still don't have to worry about the nutrition factor.
Exactly.
I have to laugh at Kelsey's mug because for some reason I want to say meow every time I say it.
Well, and her kitty's in the background too, so yes, just chilling.
There's a kitty in there.
Yeah,
I love it.
Kelsey is our resident kitty cat. Well, I don't know. I have 2. You have 3.
I have 3.
You have 3, Kim. And Sarah's like, I have 3 humans that keep me busy. I don't need any kitty cats. All right. Let's see. Sarah, go ahead.
I think it's time for time.
Yeah.
We're going to kick her out. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Sarah. You know we love you. She's like, I made her mad. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Well, we're going to launch into this really fun segment called Tip Time.
Okay.
Woo! So such fanfare. Aren't you just excited? All right. I'm going to ask a question in here. Kim, what should pet owners look for in terms of ingredients for their food and treats for their pets? And then what are some popular treats that may not necessarily be good for pets?
Yes. So when you're looking for dog food and treats, dog food specifically, look for a named meat as the first ingredient. So you don't want it to say poultry. You don't want it to say meat. You want it to say chicken or deboned chicken. Because if it's poultry or if it's meat, you have no idea what can get thrown in there.
It's like, what is that? Yeah, that's a little scary.
Exactly. And it's one of those, hidden secrets of the pet food industry. So look for named meat, and for pet food specifically, look for no corn, no wheat, and no soy. So those are the 3 things you do not want in your pet food. Corn is corn a lot of time, or cornmeal is a lot of time a filler in pet food. And just like people, pets can't digest it. So if you have a dog or a cat and you're feeding a food that has corn or cornmeal in it, you are fertilizing the yard or filling the litter box. Pretty much is what you're doing.
Did not know
That's
that.
scary. Yeah, that's just scary.
For treats, I would say, again, if you can read the ingredients and you understand what's in them, and the ingredient panel is short, then it's decent. If it's a mile long and there's all these words that you don't understand, it's probably got a lot of chemicals or preservatives in it. Put it back. As far as popular treats that are not necessarily, sorry, I'm a little blunt sometimes. Popular treats that are not good for animals. There's 4 that come to mind. Biljack, a lot of people use those for training. They're just really not very good. Milk bones they're just a lot of wheat and sugar.
Wow.
Yep. And then like Beggin strips. There's nothing in them.
I can see that commercial in my head.
Right, exactly. And then the big one that we get is rawhide. We actually don't even carry rawhide. We do a lot of special orders for people. We won't even special order rawhide because rawhide is processed in such a way that it's not digestible. So if a dog were to swallow a chunk, let's say they swallow a chunk this big, it has to pass through in that shape, in that size, through their intestines as is.
Ooh, golly.
Right. So we have alternatives to that are 100% digestible. They're rice-based. So no rawhide. I mean, it's not worth the risk. I know
that's a huge thing because I think that's the first thing somebody goes and gets when they have a new puppy.
Yep. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk.
Okay. Well,
it's like a case of just making what sells and not what's necessarily good.
Exactly.
Well, I'm a pet owner with a cat with a very sensitive stomach.
Okay.
So for other pet owners out there that may have a pet, dog or cat, that has stomach issues, what tip do you have for them?
So the first one we always say is, if it's a new thing, go to the vet, get them checked out, make sure there's nothing going on. Pumpkin is always good for settling the stomach. So you can find it here, or you can find it at the grocery store in the fruit aisle. There's canned pureed pumpkin. And so just put a little bit in their food, mix it in, and that kind of helps settle the stomach. And for kitties in particular, if it sounds kind of like, they might have a hairball that they can't quite get up, the shredded coconut, just plain shredded coconut.
My kids love that. And that was a great tip that you gave me that day when I was so scared. I'm like, my little kitty is still so sick.
Yeah. So basically it's got the coconut oil in it. And so it helps, I guess, lubricate. And so they can pass those hairballs easier.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny. They wouldn't eat it on their food. So I just like sprinkle it on the floor and then they just like gobble it up like animals.
Now it's a treat. At first it was medicine. Now it's a treat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Cindy's got a question here. She wants to know, what about greenies for dogs? She's never looked into those ingredients.
Greenies are not all that bad. They're a dental chew. So it's actually not a bad choice.
Good.
You can tell her. Don't be afraid to tell her.
I would. If she'd asked about rawhide, I would have been all over that.
Oh, goodness. So you also offer, I think this is such, let me get this frog out.
Hold that.
There we go. There we go.
We don't do reptiles, so.
Yeah, cough up hairballs. Let me cough up this frog in my throat.
There we go.
Sarah needs some coconut.
Yeah. So you have the cutest idea. I mean, I just absolutely love this. But it's these monthly themed boxes. It's a delivery service that comes right to your door for your pets, and it's customized. And I love the name of it. So cute, called You Lucky Dog. Will you tell us more about that?
Yes. So I know there are a lot of box delivery services out there for pets, but what we do is we try to customize it for your specific animal. So for instance, we have a client who gets one and he has an elderly Chihuahua that doesn't have any teeth and can't have chicken. And then he also has a bulldog. So he's got a bigger dog that's younger and things like that. So we will put 2 toys in there, one that's appropriate for the little dog, one that's for the bigger dog. And then when we put the treats in there, we actually make sure that there's no chicken in them. So we are very specific about what we put into them because we try to get to know your pets and what their sensitivities are. So it's a lot of fun. We do try to do themes throughout the year for those, which gets a little bit interesting. So sometimes you'll get new products. Sometimes you'll get samples. So you never quite know what you're going to get in those boxes.
How fun.
Yes, I love that. I think that's the greatest idea. I think a lot of people, once they find out about that, would be a great service and a great gift. I mean,
absolutely.
For your pet lovers, if you don't know what to get them, that would be so cool. Well, you mentioned the wash earlier. Tell us a little bit more about that. And do you have to make an appointment, or how can you come in and use it?
Right. So there actually is no appointment needed. So we did appointments for a little while during the COVID piece, but there actually is no appointment needed. So you can just come in. If there's somebody in the tub, we'll just ask you to wait. And if the wait's a little bit longer, just because we do sanitize between customers. So we provide a choice of shampoos. We provide brushes, nail trimmers, towels, and we have a dryer back there. So all the tools that you might need to bathe your dog. And so it's $12.50. And then we actually have a rubber ducky club. So, we're into cute names. So the rubber ducky club basically allows you to get your 5th bath free. So if you come in and bathe your dog 4 times, the 5th one is free.
That's awesome.
Too cool.
So earlier you mentioned that you do have an e-commerce section on your website. So people can go onto your website and place their orders. You said that you offer curbside pickup and delivery. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so if someone has a specific item that they're looking for, can you special order that for them unless it's rawhide?
Absolutely, unless it's rawhide.
Okay.
So if they can't do it through the website, they would need to either call or come in the store and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Can you get it for me? Absolutely. We do multiple special orders for customers every week, whether it's food or treats, or even we have, let's see, the weirdest one I had was somebody was looking for a martingale collar, which is a specific kind of collar, and they wanted it to look like a pastor's, like a rector's collar with the black and the white. We found it.
Oh my gosh.
So
wow.
Those are fun kind of things. They're just kind of fun to do the research and find ones that are, little, like I said, a little bit different. And that's not something you're going to find everywhere.
Too cool. We've been talking about food and everything, but you have a lot of specialty items. I mean, just like you were talking about that, collars. I know that wasn't really on our list, but go ahead and tell us some of the other things you have, because I think that's even of interest to people who like to pamper their pets.
Yeah, we do carry, in the winter, we carry fleeces for their dogs, and we have some that most people consider staples because they're just so comfortable and they're so easy to wash and care for. We have a line of harnesses that are great for dogs that pull. And the reason you want to do a harness, especially for dogs that pull, is because they can damage their trachea. If you just have a collar and they're pulling and pulling and pulling, they can damage that. So a harness is not only easier for you, but it's healthier for your dog. Toys, we have a line that is it's called Fluff and Tough, and it is just precious. They are a little tougher than your typical stuffed toys. And we have, I have a friend, I don't know if you know Meredith. I know you know Meredith.
Yeah.
So her dog, Jake, every time he comes into the store, he doesn't want treats. He doesn't want pets. He goes and sits right below the Fluff and Tough display and just kind of stares down the one he wants. It's hysterical.
That's amazing.
So we do that. And then we have unique gift lines. We have some great T-shirts that you're not going to find anywhere else. And then I'm super excited about, we have some new dog pet ID tags coming in. We should have some samples in Monday, and they're going to be phenomenal. So again, just very different. They're not your typical, the blue bone and the red heart, and they're just very different. They have a little less style to them.
I love it. You can like bling out your pets. Oh, that's great.
Go ahead and take that last one, Sarah. I know.
Sure, yeah. Well, this question I think is so important because we talked about this a few days ago too, and you just do such a tremendous job in supporting local businesses. And you're every week out there doing something and communicating something and forging those relationships. And I just want the viewers to know that, and want you to expand on some of the things that you have going on and ways that people can help with the community.
I think it's so important for small businesses to support each other, because none of us have the marketing budgets or things like that the larger chains have. And so what we do a lot of different things. We do participate with the Chelsea Business Alliance. We do several events throughout the year, and we always invite different businesses, local businesses. We will do, I think we're teaming up with one of the stores in our same strip mall. It's called Southern Roots. It's a ladies' boutique. So we're going to team up and do food trucks most Fridays this month. So just to kind of, help the food trucks, help us, and just kind of get the word out there. So just whatever we can do. We've had Cat and Bird Winery in here doing, during our puppy ice cream social. We
oh my gosh, I love it.
Out again in conjunction with Southern Roots, and just invite different vendors. So we really do try to promote as much as we can and invite them into our space, and they do the same, which is great.
Mm-hmm. It is so important to shop locally now more than ever. But always. Gail Mason has a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have glow-in-the-dark dog or pet collars?
So we can get them. We do have a pet light that attaches to the collar. So it actually is like a little spotlight. So you can make it blink, or you can make it just have a regular beam.
That's awesome.
Great idea.
We also have some harnesses that have the reflective material. So the whole harness is reflective when light hits it.
That's good. That's cool. So tell us, who are the best referral partners for you?
I would say the best referral partners for us are local breeders or local breed clubs. So there's a lot of like golden clubs or Frenchie clubs, things like that. Groomers, vet offices, things like that.
Great.
Agility clubs would be great too.
Okay. Agility, what is that?
So it's a dog sport. So my latest pup and I have been doing agility, and he absolutely loves it. I put him in it for my sanity because he's an Australian Shepherd, and I needed to wear him out. And not just anything will wear him out, but it's where they do the course with the jumps and the tunnel and the A-frame and things like that. So it's very, very it's a lot of mental, it's a lot of physical. So yeah, that's pretty much what agility is. And like I said, he loves it. He's asleep in the tub before we leave.
It's like the Pet Zone Iron Tribe, right?
Well, she's an iron triber, so her pet.
Oh boy, let's pop up your contact information so everybody knows where you're. This frog just wants to stay with me.
Must be fed this morning, apparently.
I know. My gosh, check the nutrients of what I have for breakfast.
Cindy says hairball, Sarah.
We got a heckler out there. Oh goodness! So here, the address. We have the address. Your website.
Yes,
website's great because, like I said, you've got a lot of inventory up there. And is there anything else that we didn't cover that you wanted to mention?
I think we covered everything. I think we did.
I was gonna say,
like I said, we've got that new line coming in. We've got the new tags coming in. We always have new items. They pop in the store weekly. We have our staples, obviously, but we do have new items that are coming in all the time. And
you do one last thing. I always think of more things when we're on here, but you do allow pets to come in. I heard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. There is a sign on the door that says dogs welcome. We have had a cat in here and they're welcome too. We just don't have too many that venture out.
Yeah.
We've had birds in here, and I had a customer ask the other day. She says she has a miniature horse. Would he be able to come? I was like, sure. So,
as long as she cleans up after.
Yeah, get to the door.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like, okay, sure.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, we've really enjoyed this time, and I just so much information, and you really just the knowledge and the care that you have is you can absolutely see it. Yes, it's evident. So we're going to close out our show with our favorite little game called the hot seat.
Okay.
Oh, who's doing the timer? I can do it. Let me just, we always forget to ask that, don't we?
You'd think we'd remember.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I don't know if
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Can't see it.
You know what? Before we start, just so you know what you're about to play.
Yes.
We're going to ask you a series of questions, and you just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. So you're just going to get through as many as you can in 60 seconds.
Okay.
I got it, Sarah, because I don't think we can see yours, but I've got it. All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Would you rather have a live-in massage therapist or a live-in chef?
Ooh.
Massage therapist.
Would you rather visit the aquarium or the zoo?
Zoo.
Be able to fly or teleport?
Teleport.
How do you like your eggs cooked?
Scrambled.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Burgers or tacos?
Burgers.
What's your favorite color?
Color? Blue.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Cook in or take out?
Take out.
Christmas, is your Christmas tree fake or real? It's fake. Cake, nothing wrong with that. Cake or pie?
Cake.
Cursive or print?
Cursive.
Favorite animal?
Uh-oh.
Cats, but
Whoa.
Don't tell my dog.
Are you a night owl or an early bird?
early bird.
Woo!
Great job.
That was so fun, Kim. You are such a delight.
All right.
It was fun.
You're so sweet and so wonderful. We really, really appreciate you coming on. And I hope that we have told more people about you and they'll come find you in Chelsea, but also you deliver and you also ship.
We do. I actually just had a delivery over in Hoover yesterday. So don't think just Chelsea. So.
Perfect. Well, everybody go see Kim or call Kim. Mark Feakin's on here. He said, nice job, Kim. Yeah. He's an iron triber. So anyway, thank you so much. We love Whiskers and Wags and love you and just really appreciate everything. And we will just see everybody next time.
Back at you. Thank you so much, Glenna. Thanks,
You're
Kelsey.
Thanks, everyone.